Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the 3DO Experience, the 3DO retrospective podcast, where we talk about all things 3DO, the company, the console, and everything in between. I am Bill, and this is Threk. How you doing, Threk?
Bill, I'm feeling accusatory, and I am declaring you beyond a reasonable doubt guilty of hosting a podcast. And I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm tired, but that's just
For
my life.
for our audio listeners who can't see the video thing, I am currently on jury duty. I got called down at the recording of today, and I got selected to sit on the jury. So yeah, and I can't say much. Like I really shouldn't be saying anything in a public forum. So I won't. So when we get to this next week, I'll provide any form of an update if I can. So yeah, that's
No
what's going
worries.
on with me.
Yeah. No, I'm just working like always and tired.
Yeah, I'm pissed. My job isn't paying me,
Yeah.
but whatever.
That's the shitty part of it.
Exactly. So what are we covering today, Billy?
We're covering one of the most striking 3DO games, I'd say.
As far as game covers go, it's up there. I love
Uh,
the cover. I love the cover of the game.
Yeah, we're gonna do news obviously, but we have to talk about this right away. Like this cover it's so simple yet also it's like one of the most striking covers I've ever seen in a video game.
Yeah, for audio listeners, if you didn't look up the quarantine for 3DO Lego yet, or the game cover, it is a windshield wiper or a windscreen wiper, depending on where you are, wiping away a whole screen of blood.
Yeah, like the cover is straight up solid red, and the only graphics on it is the one single wiper blade wiping away the blood in a smear.
And it's awesome.
It is like the second I saw it, I just kind of stared at it for like a good like 10 minutes. I was just like, they could probably not get away with a cover like this these days.
Maybe, but also like it doesn't really fit the name. You know what I mean? Because if you just are going by the name of the game and the cover, you probably be like, "What the fuck does that mean?" Like, what's like? Am I stuck in my car? You know?
Yeah, it does. The name does make sense in regards to the game and the cover to
Yeah,
a degree as well, but it's just at a first glance, like it's like you're drawn to it immediately, and you're just like, it like that is metal
yeah.
as fuck.
This metal as fuck. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's what we'll be covering once we get past the news. There was a fair amount, so but we'll see if we can blaze past them, I guess. First one I have is the Switch 2 has officially sold 6 million consoles, and Mario Kart World has sold about 6 million. So its current attach rate is like 96%. I mean, shocker, right?
Yeah.
When you release a console with a game, of course people are going to buy that game, right?
I mean the Switch
So,
one, I'm pretty sure one of the best selling games on that is also Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So.
no, it is the best selling game on the console, but it didn't come out till a little bit after launch.
Hmm.
In fact, I remember for a short period of time with the Switch 1, Breath of the Wild sold more than the Switch because people were buying copies of the game when I think the Switch 1 had some stock issues when it first came out.
Yeah.
So
Well,
people are
also,
just buying the game because they're like, oh, I'll, when I eventually can get a Switch, I'll be playing that on it. So for a brief window of time, Breath of the Wild had sold more than Switch consoles.
Breath of the Wild's numbers are a little weird too because technically it was a Wii U game as well.
Yeah. But I wonder how many people actually bought it on Wii U.
I did. And then I bought it on Switch after because I'm stupid like that.
Some people prefer the Wii U version.
I bought it out of curiosity because I really wanted to see the difference in it. It's kind of funny when you realize it's just the first Switch port when you really think about
it. Well, is it a port if it's a simultaneous release?
I don't know. You can tell it was definitely made with the Wii U in mind because, like, Tears of the Kingdom definitely does more.
Yeah, absolutely.
But Yeah, it's very fascinating looking at it, like
Yeah,
that weird cross period.
for sure, for sure. But yeah, shocker. Switch 2 is selling really well. I'll be curious when we get to this point in a year and see what its sales are at that point.
I wonder if I'll
Um,
have one by then.
I most likely will, but
Yeah.
we shall see. Anyways, there was that whole issue with the collective shout thing last week. Itch.io has decided to relist a bunch of its free content. So if you had a adult game and you weren't charging anything for it, you could put it back up and find it, which is really nice. And a correction from last week, mouthwashing was not taken off itch.io due to this. Apparently it had been de-indexed from the search for a while for something else entirely, but the mouthwashing devs kind of used this as like marketing for their game, which is a little gross when you think about it. But regardless of that, yeah, Itch has said, yeah, like, oh, we're putting like if it was free, you're good. Right now, GOG, I don't know if they still have the deal, but on GOG, there's like a list of games that were like banned or whatever that they're like, oh, on GOG, you can just go claim them. They're yours. And I went ahead and did. I don't know if I'll ever play them or who knows. I might maybe. I was talking to Keith from the main quest where he's like, maybe I should make content out of them. And I said, if you do, I'll be there. So we might. I don't know. We haven't discussed it further because I'm a sicko. Because it would be the only reason I'd play them is for content. So
Yeah. I saw a thing that one of the credit cards was claiming that they had nothing to do with this, and
oh yeah, I think it was like, MasterCard, and it's like you're full of shit.
Yeah, everyone was like, sure you
yeah,
are.
Yeah. It's clear this whole thing is really messy. So hopefully it gets resolved sooner than later.
Hey, you can still play boobs on Steam. So
I'm surprised that didn't get taken down.
I was curious and I checked last night. I'm like, oh my god, it's still there.
Yeah. Why? They're not. I don't know. To me, it just says this whole thing is bullshit.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I've heard Collective Shout doing a little bit of research on them. They have done like genuinely good things in terms of like helping like domestic abuse victims and like battered women and children and all that. Like,
well, it's kind of like
safe homes and all that stuff. And that's great that they do that. Like, that's great. But going in this direction they are now, I'm like, one, that's really not good because it's going to hurt whatever goodwill you have. And two, like your reasons for doing it, good intentioned or not, it just doesn't come off like that you're doing it with good intentions. Well, you know what I mean? Like helping battered women, you know, like find like safe spaces away from those abusers. And then also saying, oh, these like porn games on Steam are bad. Like they're not the same thing.
Well, a perfect comparison is like, look at fucking PETA. Like PETA did great things, but they've completely killed any credit they've ever had because of just how fucking insane they are.
Like PETA, I stand for what PETA.
Most people do. They just don't stand for what PETA also does.
And it's like they're like, and I get why they do a lot of their shock tactics. Like that's sort of the idea. Like I understand that, but also, as you said, like it hurts the goodwill that people are going to have. Like if you just come off confrontational, people aren't going to like that, you know? Like what I learned was what I've learned in life is if you give anybody a chance to become defensive, they will get defensive and then you're just not going to win. Like if you're having a conversation, a debate with somebody, if you give them a reason for them to back in the corner and, you know, tuck their chin like it's a boxing match, they'll just do that and they won't come out. You know, like if you actually want to convince people of things, you need to be a little bit more friendly about it, or at least more understanding of the other side. And I think Collective Shout is not doing that right now.
Everything I've read, it's like they're really kind of following that PETA line that's going to hurt them in the long run.
You know, it's bad when Anita Sarkeesian is calling you out on your bullshit.
Yeah. And
like, I mean, I genuinely don't think Anita was all that bad. I really don't.
She wasn't. Like, she just handled that situation really
well. Like if you go back and watch her stuff now with a modern lens, I mean, she's making good points. She's making a lot of really good points that I think in that 10 years since then, a lot of what she said is like, no, that's actually like true. But
Yeah, she just handled that entire thing really badly.
yeah, I don't think she was prepared for what happened
Yeah.
afterwards, and it killed whatever. And again, it killed whatever good intentioned ideas that she had.
Yep.
You know, and in the video game world, you know how people are. It's just what's going to happen, unfortunately.
Uh-huh.
You know, again, you can goon to your games all you want, but I will think you're weird for it. I'll let you do it, but I will think you're weird for doing it. Okay.
And if you have to, just keep it to yourself. We don't
Just
need to know.
yeah. Don't stop making like posting screenshots of like Aloy and being like, look how ugly she is, but look how hot this like lady from the First Descendant is. I'm like, stop. You're not helping yourself. You're just coming off as a weirdo. That's all
Yeah.
you're doing. You know, like I have my gooning preferences, but am I ever going to tell you guys it? No, I'm keeping it to myself. Anyways, uh, oh yeah, I saw this and this was insane. It's going back to Nintendo. I should organize these. Sorry, because there's a couple of other Nintendo. In fact, you know what? I'll move that over because there's a whole Nintendo chunk that I'll save. I'll save for the end because there's more. First thing is so 2K, right? They're making BioShock. I guess they had confirmed they're doing BioShock 4. I don't remember that they did or not, but also there was like a rumored BioShock 1 remake in the works. And in the I think it was in the Nvidia leak, it was BioShock 1 RTX or something like that. Apparently that has been canceled, and BioShock 4 has gotten a big shakeup because the game isn't meeting like deadlines or no, they had like a development review and it didn't work out. They didn't like what it was, so they're shuffling some people around.
Sounds a lot like Prime 4, to be honest.
Yeah, but like as somebody who's now played all the BioShock games, I don't really know what you do with a BioShock 4. You know, like it's interesting that they're making one without Ken Levine and all them, like they're making Judas, right? Maybe. But with this game, it's a whole new team, a whole new thing, and it's like, are they just going to go back to Rapture again? Because I feel like that's not that interesting to me. I don't see why you would do Columbia again, like an Infinite. I mean, they could do something completely different, and I'd be more open to that.
That
If it,
honestly sounds like the best option.
yeah, but are they? I have a feeling they're just going to do Rapture again because that's what people know, and that's what they think will sell. You know, like imagine it's like a BioShock game that takes place as Rapture goes to shit, kind of a thing. That would be my guess is what they're trying to do. But is that interesting enough to me personally? No, I don't think so.
Yeah, depends on how it's handled, and we'll have to see.
Yeah, so we shall see. Slightly related to me, Call of Duty, right? Raven Software has secured their first union contract with Microsoft.
Oh.
So, a group of 19 quality assurance workers at Call of Duty's studio Raven Software has unanimously voted to ratify their first union contract with Microsoft. It guarantees a 10% wage increase over 2 years, the option to work from home permanently for most QA workers, and new measures to tackle crunch culture and a defined process for promotion and salary increases. This is great. I love this. I've said before, I am pro union. I think unions are a net positive for the workers in the working force. Because I've definitely worked in non-union places and see what they could do to people. And I know people have their issues with unions, and I have my issues with them as well. But I think a lot of the issues unions have currently are due to decades of slowly, like corporations slowly taking away their power through government interference and that kind of stuff as well. So I would love to see a strong union renaissance in the future. It might start in the video game industry, who knows? But it's great to see Raven getting this done.
As a union worker, I can confirm.
Yeah, I was a union worker for a long time, and I liked it. I liked having it. So I definitely felt more comfortable working in that environment as a union worker.
I like aspects of it. There are definitely things though where I'm like, I have problems, but
yeah, for sure, they're not perfect, but
yeah.
In some ways it's like, yeah, it has problems, but you'd rather have it than not have it. And I imagine
Yeah.
in your profession, not having it would not be good.
Yeah, we'd basically be slave labor. So
You probably would have got fired already.
probably.
Yeah. So,
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of a hard position to fill right now. So
yeah, true. But even still. Anyway, enough speculation about Bill's life. So, the producer and director of Silent Hill F recently had an interview, and people were asking about why the game is more action based. I guess I didn't recognize that it was more like kind of action heavy than previous games. But their reasoning for it was they said they just didn't want to recreate Silent Hill 2 over and over again. And they said they're aware that was no reason. They said we didn't want to end up recreating Silent Hill 2 over and over again, and we were aware that there was no reason to keep making clones of it. So, in order to avoid repeating what previous major titles did, we decided to make the action stand out more. I mean, I didn't get that it was more action based from the trailers that they've been putting out recently. Have you?
I mean, it looks a bit more gameplay heavy, but this is also the franchise that up until like Homecoming was famous for having god awful combat. So
Yeah, Homecoming was very combat based, I think.
Homecoming is a perfectly fine game once you get past the fact that it's more of a action game than a horror game.
Yeah.
Um, it's kind of one of those things where I don't Silent Hill fans annoy me to a degree because they're up there with Sonic fans as being fucking unpleasable.
Well, I think with like Silent Hill fans, they love that Team Silent era. I mean, and I agree, that's the best era of the franchise. Really, was
Yeah,
that ragtag team that was kind of making it work, and then Konami just disbanded them for some reason, and then started having Western devs make all the Silent Hill games, and the quality kind of went all over the place. Really,
it's
so
weird because
so it's one of those like I understand them more. I do.
it's kind of weird because legitimately, I think the only legitimately bad post Team Silent Hill was Downpour. I don't count Book of Memories because that was whatever the fuck Book of Memories
I
was.
mean, even then, our boy Exit, Tony Baloney, he likes Downpour.
Downpour is not awful. I just think it's unfinished. That's
I haven't
kind of
played it. I have Homecoming and Downpour. I still haven't played them. Maybe I should play them for Spooky Month to
I mean,
see what to finally figure it out. You know.
I mean, I thought Origin was a legitimately pretty good game for what it was.
Yeah,
The
people seem to like Origins. I have fondness for Shattered Memories. I think it's a really
Shattered
interesting game.
Shattered Memories is good once you accept that it's like an alternate take.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, like I mean, what I've been seeing of Silent Hill F, I'm interested in it. I
Hmm.
am.
It
It
looks
looks
good.
it
So
looks really neat, and it is a Asian developer making it. It's not a Western dev. So I mean, even though it screams Fatal Frame to me, just I think with like the character and the setting and everything, I'm definitely curious to. I think it's a $70 game though, and unless it scores like a 90 plus, I don't think I'm going to pay $70 for it. I'll probably wait till it's like 40. But it's definitely a game that's on my radar. So yeah, and I'm fine with them doing something different as long as it's good. You know,
yeah,
so
honestly, like just as long as we get a new Silent Hill that's good, I don't really care. So
exactly, exactly. This one I pulled because I didn't know this was happening. You know James Pond, right?
yes,
Okay. Did you know they were making a new one?
no,
I didn't either. It's called James Pond and the Rogue AI. Already a weird title, right? Um, well,
fitting with the world right now, but still
well,
a little on the nose.
well. Apparently, the creator of James Pond, a man named Chris Sorrell, just got interviewed about it recently. And he was quoted as saying the game is filled with lazy AI generated bullshit at it, you know, because I guess the company that owns James Pond now is called Gamesware,
Hmm.
and he's insinuating that yeah, that they're using a bunch of AI to like promote the game, and there might be AI within the game. Apparently they did a Kickstarter to make a new James Pond in 2013. um but it got canceled after a while, and he even got involved with it and he had a lot of regret about it. Here, let me see if I can get a full quote from him. Quote, I hate almost everything they do with a passion, all the more so since they duped me into being part of their shambolic Kickstarter campaign all those years back, and I stupidly allowed my name to become associated with their bottom feeding enterprise. That's very British. Um, so I didn't look at the trailer at all. Apparently, like the main thing with the game is that you have a robot suit that can like extend and bend like a snake, I guess. But he's very skeptical. He's like, it could be good, but he's like, but from what they're doing, I don't have high hopes for it. So, that doesn't really help. But yeah, I saw this and I'm like, that is very, very interesting. I didn't even know they were bothering to make a new James Pond. Like,
Yeah.
does anybody care enough about James Pond?
That's like one of those like who asked for this kind of games, but
And I feel when it comes out, that's what it's gonna be. It's like, who fucking asked for this shit, right? But I don't know. So we had 2 showcases over the last week.
yes.
There was the Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase, with a Indie Direct happening, an Indie World happening, I think this Thursday.
Yep.
Yeah. So of course I'll be in jury duty, so I can't check it out. But there was that one, and then a THQ Nordic Digital Showcase, which I actually didn't know was happening until I was just browsing on the computer at work and just happened to see it and went, oh, well, I'll fucking check this out, right? It was fairly short. They didn't show a huge amount of stuff. But I'll talk about some of the things. Did you watch this at all?
I completely forgot about it, to be honest.
Fair enough. Okay, so the things that interested me were the new SpongeBob game.
I did see that. I saw
SpongeBob
that.
SquarePants Titans of the Tide.
Is it Purple Lamp again?
I think it's Purple Lamp, yeah.
Okay.
It looks Purple Lamp. And basically the how was it, like the Neptune King? Am I getting his name right?
King Neptune.
King Neptune. Sorry. And the Flying Dutchman have teamed up to cause chaos, I guess. And so
okay.
SpongeBob and Patrick are teaming up in a battle for Bikini Bottom Cosmic Shake type platforming way to defeat them. And I guess the main gameplay gimmick is you can switch between SpongeBob and Patrick on the fly. So one of them, you're playing as one of them, and then the other one is like a little Flying Dutchman-fied. So like if you look at the cover, you'll see like SpongeBob and then a little small Patrick that's like green and has like the floating thing like Flying Dutchman. They have like these rings, and then they'll do the rings to swap, kind of a thing. Which, I mean, interesting idea, I guess. We'll see if it's any good. I will be playing it and checking it out. So
as long as it's a solid platformer, I mean,
sure. I thought Cosmic Shake was solid. Apparently, some people didn't like it, but I thought it was fine.
Yeah,
So, Recreation. This one looks really interesting to me. I imagine it does to you, Bill, as well, because the studio that's making this game, I can't remember their name off the top of my head, but it was created by a bunch of people who left Criterion, who are the Burnout team, to essentially continue Burnout Paradise. Like, that's essentially the idea behind this game. It's touted as created by Three Fields Entertainment, a studio set up by 3X-Key Criterion staff behind Burnout Paradise and a few Need for Speed titles. Recreation is a no-holds-barred racing game and open-world sandbox all in one. So it looks like it's meant to bring back that sort of Burnout Paradise vibe to it. But also, one thing they're advertising is in the name Recreation. You can also like have creation tools. So I'm hoping it's a case of like, oh, here's like the world, the open world we built for you to fuck around in. And then if you want to build your own shit, here you go as well. Or maybe they find a way of integrating them. I'm not sure. But it looks interesting. Like, because I've played quite a bit of Burnout Paradise and fucking love that game. And I'd be down for a new one. Why not? Right?
Yeah. I mean, Burnout Paradise is fucking amazing. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I should see if when these games are coming out. The SpongeBob game I know is coming out in September. Recreation I don't think has a release date yet. Let's see. Yeah, Amazon just has a placeholder of December 31st, so sometime this year I think is the original plan. But I'm fairly certain SpongeBob is like in September September at some point. So keep an eye
Nice.
out for that one. What else caught my eye? Oh, we saw another trailer for The Eternal Life of Goldman, which was in not the Switch 2 Direct, but the Direct right before the Switch 2 Direct. And it's this like Metroidvania-y looking game where you play as like an old man, like treasure hunting or whatever.
Yep.
And there's it was like a story trailer with this lady talking about like her history with the main character with like a little kid or whatever. And it reveals a lot of interesting things as far as like the plot goes. Like she might be the main villain, I think, is what they're going for. But it looks really cool. I'm genuinely interested in it. It's supposedly coming out this year as well. It doesn't have a full title yet. But have you? But what do you think of this one? Have you seen it?
I saw a bit of it. It looks different.
Yeah.
It does have that Metroidvania-esque look to it. So
yeah,
those can either be really good or they can just be like super kind of pretentious in a way. So
I see what you mean. Yeah. So it's
like,
only $30. So
I'll give it a shot if I see it.
Yeah, I'd like to give that one a try. Let's see what else was there. They made a big deal about the. Do you know anything about the Gothic series?
Gothic. That sounds familiar.
Okay, well, they made a whole deal about it because they're. I think it's Gothic 1 and 2, and then I think 3 as well are getting like remastered ports, but also they're doing like a full scale remake of the original Gothic.
Huh.
I haven't heard of these games. I don't know anything about them, so the fact they took so much of the show says to me it's a big deal, but probably just to people not within our range. So
THQ Nordic. That's always a good sign.
this is the THQ Nordic showcase, dude.
True.
There was another game. It was called the Guild Europa 1410, which I think is some like strategy game or something. I'm not quite sure what it is. It's like a sim strategy game where it's like you pick like what kind of person you'd be in like a medieval world and kind of following their life. They advertised it with a bunch of FMV stuff that looks like really like high quality, and that's kind of what caught my eye because I like FMV shit.
Yeah.
But I don't know how much of the game is going to be that or not. I think it's just PC only at the moment. But I might keep an eye out on that one. And then there's a game called Reanimal, which looks really interesting. I'm not sure who's making it, but I mean, it looks pretty fucking crazy. It has like this Limbo Inside type look to it, like
Black
kind of
Soul, that kind of look.
like dark, yeah, but 3D. Apparently, it's from the original creators of Little Nightmares 1 and 2.
Oh.
So I haven't played those games, so I don't know. And it looks like it's emphasizing like co-op because there's like 2 main characters. But yeah, it looks interesting for sure. And I guess they're making a real big deal out of it because it's like has a big old collector's edition with like figurines and all this other stuff. So it looks like they're trying to make something out of it. Whether or not it actually does, I don't know. But it's coming out next year. It says March 31st, 2026. So yeah. And then the last thing I saw that I thought was interesting is Darksiders 4.
I saw that.
Yeah.
That's a series I need to try.
Yeah. Well, a little teaser. I might be planning to play the entire Darksiders series this year for content. So stay tuned. And timing kind of works out because they announced Darksiders 4, but they didn't really give any specifics. They just showed like 4 characters on a horse, on different horses, and Darksiders 4. It looks like to me they Metroid Prime For'd it. It's like here's like a little PNG thing. We'll see you later, I guess.
Yeah.
So who knows? Who knows with this thing? I was hoping they'd learned their lesson with the KOTOR remake, but no, I guess we're fucking still here. But yeah, it was a fairly short showcase. Not a lot of major big things, but some interesting things to keep an eye on for sure.
I'm honestly surprised they haven't just dropped Nordic from their name and just be like, we're THQ again.
I kind of like THQ Nordic. It flows off the tongue nicely.
It kind of reminds me of like SNK Playmore, although they dropped Playmore a couple years back. Now
Yeah,
they're
it's
just
just
SNK again.
yeah. Who knows? Maybe one of these days I will drop Nordic and just say THQ. Who knows?
Hmm.
And then the other thing we got was the partner showcase. That was July 31st, literally the last day of July. Apparently, a lot of people didn't like this,
Yeah, I saw a bit of discourse on it.
and again, I'm like, why? It's just a partner showcase. Like, it's what you think it is. It's just showing a bunch of third party stuff that's coming to Switch 1 and Switch 2. You know, I can't think people were pissed because when you look at every game, with the exception of like one game, everything's coming to everything.
Yeah.
Like only one game and that thing is exclusive. And I think it's a game that do we need another age Hyrule Warriors, Age of whatever? Do we need another one? I
I
don't
mean,
think we do.
those Dynasty Warriors fans are very dedicated.
I
So
mean, I've heard even Dynasty Warrior fans are like, can we not?
fair.
I mean, like that formula, you could do so much more with it. You really could, especially if you want to keep doing Nintendo stuff. You know,
Well, they
like
already did.
I'm dying for a Mario Muso game. I'd play the
I,
shit out of that.
I would play that. I mean, they gave us 2 Fire Emblems.
Maybe they'll give us a third Fire.
I'd prefer just a new Fire Emblem, to be honest.
I mean, you're good. I mean, there's still that a supposed genealogy remake coming. So who knows?
Give us the game officially.
Yeah, but outside of that, did anything strike your fancy here? There's a couple things for me.
Not really, because I just can't afford games right now. So I'm kind of just like, yep, more games.
Fair enough. I'll say the things that caught my eye were, let's see, Pac-Man World 2 repack.
Oh yeah, Namco fans, because they were all mad because the Tales series got nothing again, and yeah,
Well, Namco has been, pretty prolific recently, right? Yeah, they did the one remake, which I think did good enough for them to be like, oh, let's remake 2, which 2 is the best of the World games in my opinion. So it makes
yeah.
I love that game. So I really like World 2. So
I mean, when you look at its competition, it's not surprising.
yeah, so it's a solid game.
3 is kind of crap, but
Yeah, do you think they'll do 3? They might.
Make it better, maybe.
They could. They can improve it for sure. We're getting a new Katamari game, which is dope as fuck. Once Upon a Katamari, which says to me that like the 2 re-rolls did really well. So they're like, all right, we'll make another one.
That's good because I didn't want the series to end on Touch My Katamari as their final original game.
Mm-hmm. But I think they could get away with every couple years doing one. Like don't make it like a frequent thing. Just every maybe like that's a series like every 4 or 5 years you can put out another one and people be like, okay, time for another Katamari,
Yeah.
So let's see. We're getting this one caught my eye. Plants vs. Zombies Replanted, which I believe is a full-on remake of the original Plants vs. Zombies. In glorious HD, because when it came out, it was like that game is not HD, but it came out on HD consoles on the 360. But it's cool to see. Yeah, they're bringing it back. It's the original like defense mode lane stuff that they were doing. Has like co-op and PvP. There's some new stuff in there as well. I actually went ahead and pre-ordered it because it was only like less than $20 for me to pre-order it. And honestly, Plants vs. Zombies is an underrated series. Yeah, I think it's a really solid series. Like I've been playing the Garden Warfare ones, and I'm like, these are like good. Did I not know about this the whole time? So yeah, that's cool to see. Let's see what else struck me. Oh yeah, that game called, I think it's called Hela, whatever. It's just like a little like an action adventure game where you're a rat, walk around the woods or whatever. It looks a little UE default assets but I think it looks cool. It's something I'll keep an eye on. Chronos: The New Dawn got an official launch day, September 6th, which is great. Looking forward to that. Oh yeah, Shinobi Art of Vengeance got a demo dropped, and I played through that. I also pre-ordered that game because that demo blew me away. Very excited. What else caught my eye? Oh yeah, we got a two new HD 2D things. So we're getting Octopath Traveler 0, which is a prequel. It's based on that Octopath mobile prequel thing, but they're like making it more just like a console game, I think.
Okay.
And then there's that this what a title. The Adventures of Elliot the Millennium Tales. Which everyone it's the action RPG one.
Yeah.
Everyone memed it because of it takes place in Philadelphia, Belfadea or something. Like they looked at Philadelphia and they're like, add a B in there somewhere. No one will know. And everyone started memeing it. That has a demo exclusively on Switch too, I think, but it's coming to everything anyways. It looks interesting. Like the HD 2D thing is starting to get some backlash, just because I think
Because they're overusing it now.
they're which we knew they were going to overuse it. We knew it, but they're not doing enough unique things with it as well. You know, like not every game's going to be Live Alive, which I think gets away with it because it's pretty unique.
Or Second Story R.
Or yeah, exactly. So, well, Second Story R is not HD 2D. That's like its own thing.
Are you sure it looked like the HD 2D engine?
No, I don't. If it is, they're really pushing that engine because it is doing some pretty wacky shit.
Just curious.
Yeah. And then outside of that, I mean, well, there's Monster Hunter Stories 3, but I don't think I've ever met anybody who's played the Monster Hunter Stories games, so I have no idea if they're any good or not. But yeah, it was a fairly like okay direct. I didn't think it was amazing, but it wasn't bad or anything. I imagine some of the Nintendo people probably got mad that they saw like Madden and FIFA and all that shit in there. You know, that would be a guess of mine, is that they're like, how dare like Madden, FIFA, FC show up on this thing? And it's like, guys, that's a good thing, because then that means Nintendo is like up to date with everybody, and they're not going to skip the fucking. They're not going to skip Nintendo consoles. You know, like EA is there, so that means EA will put other good shit on there. You know, which is not a bad thing at all. It's not. You know, but it'll be funny when like we see like Switch sales charts, and then in the top will be Madden FC. Yeah. It's gonna be there. It's just how it goes. For better or worse, it's always one of the best selling games every year. So
yep,
there it'll be, and then Nintendo people will get mad about it for some reason because they're weird.
Yeah, I just looked it up, and I got conflicting answers. I got one article that said it's not HD 2D, and I got one that said it is. So
who knows? And then the last thing I saw, because it's Nintendo, is that they're increasing the price of the Switch.
Yeah,
which I think they've already done now, which is like fucking crazy, really. That like the Switch 1 OLED is now $400. Like at that,
thank you.
I think if I hazard to take a guess, I think the idea is that they're upping the price to that point to where people will see that and go, "Oh, I'll just save and buy a Switch 2."
Maybe.
Yeah. I've heard some analysts say that Nintendo's projecting the Switch to cross into 160 to be the best-selling console of all time. And I mean, it might get there. It might get there next year, but this price hike kind of kills it happening this year.
Yeah, I see more people buying used ones at this point. So
yeah, the standard Switch is now was it 340? Switch OLED is 400, and a Switch Lite is 229 or 230, which is fucking mind-boggling to me that they bothered raising the price of the Switch 1. Tariffs or not, it's like at this point they're making profit on that thing. You know, like I can't imagine they would take a loss even with the tariffs on the Switch 1. I can't imagine that.
Yeah, it's the whole thing's bizarre.
Yeah, it's fucked and everything sucks. But unlike that, we did get new Nintendo Music this week. In fact,
Did
we got a pretty interesting drop from them. A good drop too. I actually like this one.
let me see, like because I don't know for once.
Yeah, Bill doesn't know, but I do.
Let's see here. Oh, the 3DS gave it away because we have like nothing for 3DS. So it's oh we got Pilot Wings in all three.
Yeah. We got the Super Nintendo Pilot Wings, Pilot Wings 64, and Pilot Wings Resort. All three in one. So maybe after the big NES drop, they're like, oh, we can do more than one game a week?
Novel.
Holy shit.
What
And
a
so,
novel idea.
yeah. I mean, hey, good on them. I love the Pilot Wing soundtrack. Like, I love Pilot Wings on the SNES anyways. But like this shit is I love this shit.
I I low key love the fact that
Love that.
the Pilot Wing soundtrack is only 18 minutes long.
Yeah. I mean, Pilot Wings is also a fairly short game, but it's awesome.
It's
Even
still
I like all three Pilot Wings. I think they're all like really solid games.
Resort was interesting. 64 was like the completely underrated launch title for that game because
Everyone bought Mario 64, yeah.
Yeah. Imagine being the guy who bought Pilot Wings.
I mean, I would have. See, that's what they should have made that a tradition. Every console, here's new Pilot Wings. They should have made that a thing. That would have been cool.
They only did it 2 years, and then they didn't. Then they just randomly brought it back
for the 3DS. And I don't even think it was a launch. Was it a launch title for 3DS?
It was.
Okay, yeah.
Because I remember a lot of people. Because you gotta remember the.
Imagine a launch title Pilot Wings for the Wii. I think that would have been cool.
That would have been. Because you remember the 3DS had that abysmally like bad launch. Like the games were just like. Everyone was like, "This is cool." I guess.
Yes, I do.
And I think Pilot Wings was like the game. Like other than like Ocarina the Ocarina remake, like
Pilot that wasn't their launch day, was it?
It was close enough. It was in the window.
Okay. I'm just imagining Pilot Wings. They just put another I in wings to make it the Wii Wings. It writes itself, right? But yeah.
See that's creative. So you obviously Nintendo wouldn't do it. It would just it would be Pilot Wings Wii.
I mean, if they had put out a Pilot Wings for the Wii and didn't call it that, everyone would have called it that.
See, the GameCube era was their most creative because they didn't just like name everything after their console.
I would have loved a freaking Pilot Wings for GameCube. That would have been sick.
It would have been cool.
Yeah.
There's so many missed opportunities on GameCube, but then there was also so many not missed opportunities. GameCube was a weird era.
I mean, Nintendo has so many missed opportunities where they could just print money and they just don't do it.
Uh-huh.
But we're not here to talk about that. We're past the news. We're past the music. We're now back to talking about quarantine for the 3DO. So, Bill, give us the rundown.
So, I have the big box here. I'd like to just read the back description of this game because it is wonderful.
I'd love if you did.
You are Drake Edgewater, the most 90s fucking name ever.
Ew, that's the name of an SA, man.
Yeah. A 21st century cab driver desperate to escape the quarantined city of Chemo. Yes,
it is Chemo.
Yep.
I never put that together in my because they spell it Kemo. I was thinking like chemo or something.
Yep.
But Chemo makes more sense.
You drive a modified 52 checker hover cab armed with headlight mounted machine guns, roof cannons, missiles, explosives, flamethrowers, buzzsaws, and a bad attitude because this is the fucking 90s.
Bad attitude. I will push back on the bad attitude, but we'll get to that in a second.
Rid the streets by any means necessary of assault vehicles, mutant assassins, and slow-moving pedestrians. It's all a day's work here in Chemo. Lightning fast, new real-time 3D graphics engine. Combine the best elements of first-person shooters, car racing games, and demolition derbies, featuring filmed live-action music video introduction and music tracks from Australian alternative bands. Yes, every band in this is an Australian band. I looked it up.
And it's not made by an Australian team.
Yeah, I know, which is even funnier.
They got into Oh, what the fuck's that? Midnight Oil. They just really got into Midnight Oil, and we're like, oh,
Yeah.
let's check out other Australian bands.
Earn money to purchase weapons and repair your cab. Gigantic playing environmental set in the dark futuristic city. This game is 90s as fuck.
That's
Also,
funny because like the actual plot of the game is so much more dark than that.
oh yeah, it is.
It's dark as fuck.
We'll get into that in a second. One last thing I want to point out is, so this game uses the 3DO rating system, so it's kind of dumb. It's rated 17. May contain graphic violence. You don't say.
I feel like that 17 is pushing it, even for
Yeah.
this game. Like, if it was like 15, I'd believe it.
Like if this was the ESRB, this would be an M for sure.
Even though it's like barely a teen.
Oh yeah, the cover alone would get it an M for 90 standards.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the cover's great, but yeah, like so as you said with the live action, we get this live action intro, right? Which is this guy, Mr. Edgewater, just like casually waking up, right? And he's hearing on the radio about, everything that's going on. He somehow pulls a sandwich out of thin air and takes a bite out of it and then puts it back down. Sure. Gets in his car and then he's like doing this whole thing of like picking people up and dealing with guns and shooting and everything. But it's so nonchalant, that intro, right? Like it's so casual. That's why I push back on he has an attitude. So I'm like, he just seems chill as fuck, like the whole time. Like he's just used to this, which I think is the more accurate description of being in this like dystopian hellhole that he's in. Because as we mentioned, the plot is very dark.
Yeah. So to go into it a little deeper, essentially it's a world. There's been. All right, where's it good? Crime rate has risen. Economies collapsed. The city has descended into disorder. Omnicorp promises city officials that it will clean up chemo and return it to normal. The offer is accepted. So Omnicorp's idea: build a giant wall around it. Where have I heard this before? To clean up the city.
Yeah, it hits a little close to home.
It's a defensive measure. 10 years later, Omnicorp has decided to test the behavioral altering chemical hydrogen 344 on the population of chemo, which is supposed to pacify the citizens. Unfortunately, they didn't test it properly, and it instead makes everybody crazy murderers. Oh.
I mean, this sounds accurate.
It is. The fact that it's 2020, this apparently all starts in 2022 is the only thing that's sad, because imagine if it was 2020, that would be fucking hilarious.
It's implying we got hover cars 3 years ago, right? Which when I think about it, I'm like, hover cars are kind of dumb. Like, how would they work? Would they even be like efficient enough, more so than just normal cars? And like them hovering in the air, wouldn't that just cause more problems? But but regardless of that, yeah, it's like 2022, the crime rate, the economy's getting crazy. And then like the whole Omnicorp chemo thing, they do the wall thing. And it's weird. They like try to imply that they were going to let people go or let certain people go, but they didn't. They just sealed everybody. And then it just got worse. Shocker, because like everybody got trapped in there, like it's Arkham City or something. And then, as you said with the chemical stuff, they put it in the water supply. That's how they got it. And then like it just, everyone got fucking crazy. And so you, as a cab driver, are just trying to like make money to get out.
Yeah,
like that. Like there's this crazy fucking backstory, right, about this like like political violence and like cyberpunkian corporation distortion, right? And the game is just Crazy Taxi.
It is. So I saw one description that literally described this game as Twisted Metal meets Crazy Taxi, and I'm like, that.
Yeah. That's like, you have all this crazy buildup, and it's like this really interesting lore and like attempt at world building, and then you play the game, and it reflects none of it.
Yeah, it is. It's because apparently the main character Drake is one of those like, because in every like post-apocalyptic like storyline like this, there's always like the one guy that's like just immune for whatever reason.
Yeah, and I think they imply that he's immune.
Yeah, because he's just fine. It's also implied he had like a whole family at one point, and they're just gone.
And he seems chill as fuck, just eating his random bed sandwich.
Yes. Another thing too is this is very much a part of the time. This game does not hold your hand at all. You basically start. There's no instructions. It just drops you off, and it's like have fun.
Yeah, which I mean is fine to a degree, but like as it said, you have this big game map, right? And as far as I know, there is no way to access it when you're driving. Like nothing. You have a little thing in the corner because the whole game is played from a first person perspective. You're behind the
Yes.
wheel of the car, right? Which is cool. Like I think the graphics for the HUD and all that are really nice. But you have this like you're just like a green dot in this like black screen, and you'll see like occasional red and green dots pass by, right? But they didn't bother to make sort of like a zoom in on the map or anything to be like, oh, here's where like streets turn or like here's where the big highway is or anything like that. And as far as I know, there's no way to actually see the map unless you pick up people just randomly to go drop them off wherever they need to go for whatever fucking reason. So you just get lost in this giant map that doesn't have a lot of interesting landmarks to it, really. Like even like so many levels and corners just repeat stuff.
So did you know there's multiple maps?
Are you fucking kidding me?
All right. So this took me a while to figure out because unfortunately, even though I have this nice fancy long box, I don't have the manual.
Ooh,
So I had to look
rip.
online because the majority of how to play this game is in the manual. So this is where the legitimately kind of interesting gameplay comes in. The way the game works is you pick up cab fare and you shoot shit and blow people up and just plow through people because this game does not has gives no fucks.
Yeah, without the manual, you play it for like 5 minutes because it's kind of fun. But then you're like, what the fuck am I even doing?
Okay, this is where it gets interesting. So you go around picking up people because the main goal is to make money. You have to
Yeah.
get money to upgrade your car, to refill your weapons, and all that stuff.
And I, and
Occasion
I, and I guess it's implied that if you make your car strong enough, it can just what break through the wall and escape, I guess.
That's the implication. I didn't get far enough to finish it, but I got far enough to unlock a few extra maps.
Yeah.
The way it works is this is actually kind of interesting. You pick up certain characters who are apparently part of the underground and they have some story detail. And if you drive them around and help them out enough, eventually you'll gain their trust and they'll give you a passcode. You use the passcode at one of the little like hubs because there's this little like hubs you can go to all over the city. Like the refill weapons, or some of them are just like kind of like these like little offshoot hubs at the sides of walls. There are certain ones that you go to, you can enter the password and it unlocks another section of the map. Like there's a park section, there's like this like oldie town kind of section that you have to find. The passwords are all the same, so you can just look them up online if you don't want to do the bullshit. As I discovered, because
Yeah, I
I
didn't
got
even know that was a thing.
I it took me a bit because I was like, this can't be it. So I looked it up and I was like, oh. But then I got the first one legitimately, but then I was like, I'm not doing that again because ironically the park map is boring as fuck because it's just a park.
But is
Um,
there a way to like access those maps while you're playing the game?
you have to go to well, you don't see the physical map, but you can go to the different stages essentially.
Hmm.
It's very primitive.
And but like nothing is properly labeled at all.
No,
You know?
that's where this game screams mid 90s. Like Crazy Taxi definitely handled it a lot better for a game of this design.
Yeah, and it's kind of a different game because it's more of like an arcadey thing. So,
Yeah,
but
this
like, but you can't help but make the Crazy Taxi comparison because you're a fucking rogue taxi just picking people up and doing
yeah.
wacky shit.
You know
But it's
what's
not
weird too?
fun, and it doesn't even have like a soundtrack.
You know
Or
what's
or
really
no, it does, but it's not as good as Crazy Taxi.
yeah, it's all 90s alternative bands that no one's heard of. Um
Australian ones that when I listen to the tracks, I'm like, "Mm, no, they didn't really do it for me.
nah. I think I saw a review where the guy was like, imagine if this had just 9 inch nails. So I was like, yeah, that'd probably be better.
It has a Nine Inch Nails vibe,
It does.
you know?
Um yeah, it's It's weird because also like I thought what was kind of bizarre was you can like deny a fare.
Yeah,
Like I was
yeah.
like, why? Like why would you ever say no?
Like it'd be interesting if they put in maybe like a morality system or something like that, or maybe it's like say you're trying to gain credibility with the underground, but like, oh, you know, you pick up like a dissenter or something and that ruins your cred or something. Like that's an interesting idea, but I really don't think that's in there.
Yeah,
'Cause yeah, the game doesn't fucking tell you anything
no, it's
at
very much
all.
a 90s game where it's like you're on
Yeah.
your own.
Yeah, which is really rough because it's such a unique thing, you know, and I can respect it for being a very unique thing, but it just really doesn't work, you know? Like we
Yeah,
said, this came out in 3DO in 95. It came out on PC in 94, the year prior.
and
And
it got a
then
PlayStation and the Saturn port only in Japan.
in 96, which is buck wild to me.
Also,
Uh,
I want to mention this because the names are great. They renamed the game for both the Saturn and PlayStation versions, respectively.
yeah,
On PlayStation, it was known as Hard Rock Cab.
kind of fits a little better.
It does, but it's not nearly as striking. And then
No.
it's the Saturn version is metal as fuck. Death Throttle. Yeah.
Death Death Throttle sounds like the name of a fake metal band in a game.
Ironically, Death Throttle, because the Saturn version uses the same cover art, makes the most sense.
Yeah, I mean, quarantine makes sense once you play the game because
Content
you're
wise, yeah.
quarantined. Yeah, you need the context for it, but it's hard to sell a game on that title without the context, you know.
Yeah.
But speaking of wild shit, the game was published by Game Tech, you know, most
Which is
famous for
so
Wheel
weird
of Fortune
seeing.
and Jeopardy.
Yeah, it's so weird seeing Game Tech. You think Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy, and then this.
Yeah, but the crazy thing, do you know who developed this game?
Image Excel, who are
Who
nowadays
are nowadays Rockstar Toronto,
who
which
admitted,
which is fucking batshit to
yeah,
me.
they're still around to this day. Admittedly, they don't really make games anymore. They're one of the many Rockstar
I
support
think.
studios.
Well, I think they mainly handle like the PC ports for the recent stuff.
I believe so.
Yeah, like they. I mean, they helped on Red Dead Redemption 2, but like GTA 4, Max Payne 3, GTA 5, like the PC ports were them pretty much.
Hmm.
And I bet they're working on GTA 6,
Oh yeah.
guaranteed. But prior to that, they made a game called Techno Cop, which I played on my old Genesis streams. If you want to check that out, they made Quarantine. Quarantine apparently got a sequel
Yep.
called Quarantine 2 Road Warrior, which was
Which
PC only.
I did look up. We're probably not going to cover it for the show because it's very
Nah.
not worth it. I will say though, I looked up some gameplay into it. It's basically the same gameplay wise,
Yeah, it looks the exact same screenshot wise.
but rather than this game, which is basically kind of a free for all, it is much more mission and story driven.
Yeah, like it looks like he succeeded in getting out of the city, but now it's like he's essentially doing Mad Max shit.
Yeah, because it apparently from what I've read, it has more of a structure and it's actually more of a game. Like,
Yeah, they learned their lesson, which is great. But then shortly after that, the team that was making them got bought up and had to make the mission packs for the original Grand Theft Auto. So those two London things that I don't know if anybody's ever played those. London 1961 and 69 was them, and then they
one,
ported fucking Oni to PS2,
yep, one game they did make though that's an originally them production, the Warriors game.
which is a fucking great game.
It
If
is.
if y'all haven't played the Warriors on PS2 and Xbox, do yourself a favor and emulate it and play it. It is a banger.
Hmm.
Seriously, really good. Especially if you like the movie, and I really like the movie. And it is a great like adaptation slash continuation of the movie. You
Hmm.
know, like it develops the world further. You know, so I'll give them credit for that. It's a shame we never got more original stuff out of them, but I think Rockstar is kind of done making more original things.
Yeah, because
Unfortunately, it's
every
GTA and Red Dead. That's all they're ever going to do
yeah,
again.
because everything else they've done is either a PC port. They did the Wii port of Manhunt 2 and Bully Scholarship Edition.
Hell yeah! I
And
mean,
because
somebody had to port Manhunt 2 to the Wii.
yes. And because everybody worked on Red Dead Redemption 2, they were part of the many people who worked on
Yeah.
Red Dead Redemption 2.
And they'll be a part of the many people who worked on GTA 6.
Yeah.
Guarantee. I'm surprised it's not listed here, but
Because it's probably one of those things where people are like, we don't know. And it's like, yeah, of course they worked on it.
Yeah, well, yeah, there's nothing official yet, so that's fair.
I would like to mention some of the bands that were in this
Oh
game
my god. Oh
because the
yes,
names are
please.
amazing.
This is what I love about Australian bands. They always pick the best names.
Yep. So the most significant song in this game is Berlin Chair by a band called UMI. That's the only one that actually has a Wikipedia page for the song itself.
Yeah, they seem to have been like a fairly. I feel like all these bands did fairly well in Australia, but the thing is with the Australian music scene, it has very rare, if any, crossover into the UK or America.
Yes.
Because I think just because it's so out of the way, and I
Like-
think most Australian bands would rather just be big in their home country and that's it.
Like the only Australian band that comes to mind that had any sort of like major success is like Men at Work.
Midnight Oil.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And who could fucking forget AC/DC?
Oh yeah,
They're Australian.
I forgot. Well, I mean, half the band's fucking British at this point,
but they were Australian band.
That's true.
So there's been a few.
Damn, how did I forget AC/DC?
Yeah, and also I think King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard are Australian. Like Australian music has gotten more popular in the last few years because I think that scene is now able to branch out more and more thanks to the internet and all that. But there's only been like a handful of bands that have really made that major crossover. Midnight Oil are fucking great. I love them.
I just remember Men at Work just because they made the Australian national anthem. So
I bet Australians hate that song.
Do
we know any Australians? I don't think we do.
We do.
Adam. Okay. Adam, if you listen to this, do you guys hate that Land Down Under song? I kind of don't like it just because I think it's kind of cheesy crap.
It's catchy, but it's not my
favorite. Sure, but like, I will never put it on ever. But I prefer but if it just comes on wherever I am, I'm just like, okay, I guess I'll deal with it.
If I'm gonna listen to that song, I'm gonna listen to the Ninja Sex Party cover because it's more fun.
Sure.
I liked It's a Mistake and Who Could It Be Now better, but that's besides the point.
I like Who Can It Be Now.
Yeah. But going back to these bands, we have the Fobs.
What a name.
Custard.
Custard's like a British name, but I like it.
This one's my favorite. Smudge.
Godstar, which just sounds like a new metal band from the 2000s.
Yep. Scream Feeder
slaps, dude. Holy shit.
That's up there with the Swerve Driver.
Yeah, it's up there.
The Daisy Grinders. Underground Lovers.
The
Hellmen.
With 2 N's.
Yep.
For some reason.
Crow and Sidewinder.
Sidewinder, yeah. And they're all like indie alt rocky bands, you know what I mean? And like you 90s. You listen to music and it's like it's not the Road Rash soundtrack. Which is like you think that's a better fit for this kind of game. But they didn't go that way, which is interesting.
Yeah. I always bring up Swerve Driver just because I actually did listen to their album, the big album that they had. I'm like, this actually isn't bad.
Yeah.
For what it is.
I believe you. But yeah, I think as far as I know, all the Australian bands that have Wikipedia pages, like they're still going.
Yeah.
Like none of them. Custard broke up for a little bit. Smudge did too. Gold Star doesn't exist anymore. They're around for just a couple years. They only put out 2 records. Scream Feeder's still going. Underground Lovers are still going. Crow is still going. And Sidewinder don't exist anymore. They only were through the 90s. Again, put out 2 records that didn't do that much. So yeah, so these guys just had a weird hyperfixation on Australian bands. Like Australian bands that I bet Australians wouldn't even know who the fuck they are.
I wonder if it was because I part of me wonders, is it because they were cheap?
Absolutely they were. I'll take that Crocky Dingo, bro.
So before we get into reception, I wanted to just make one point on the gameplay that I feel like overall, the idea is interesting. It's just kind of not. It's very half baked. It's not fully realized.
Yeah.
The thing that gets me the most with this game is the fact that the main gameplay is driving. The driving's not very good.
No, this game controls like absolute shit.
The
When you
biggest
start the game, you have two different control options. You can either accelerate with, I think it's the A button, or up on the D-pad. I tried both. Accelerating with A is better, but like again, your car just gains so much fucking speed, and you never have good. It feels like a hover car, where it's like
yeah.
you don't like it's slidey and floaty. Like the best way I can compare it is when you put just like a puck on an air hockey table and just let it slide around. That's what it feels like to drive this car. Like
Mm.
awful. And the shooting is not satisfying in any sense at all. Like, and apparently one of the unique things about this game is you can do drive-by shootings. Like you can
Yes, you
push
can.
one of, I think it's one of the shoulder buttons, and look to the side and like shoot people, which is cool with like that Rockstar connection, with Grand Theft Auto and everything.
Oh, the
But
graphics are very interesting in this game.
it
Like
has a unique, again, it has a really unique aesthetic. Like the art style is unique. Going for the Australian bands is a weird choice. Like it's another game from this era that we've touched on this console where the aesthetic and everything is really cool, but they forgot to make a good game.
yeah, or it just they did not. They were ahead of their time, too ahead of their time for what the system could do.
Yeah, because we know Image Excel would go on to do better things.
Yeah.
So they definitely had it in them, but it just wasn't
What's
there yet.
the thing about the driving too that's a little rough is like you gain speed so fast, but if you even like tap a wall, your momentum it just stops. I mean, it's a hover car, so I guess that makes sense.
Sure.
But the also the biggest detriment in this game, the fucking traffic.
Oh my god.
They're if you thought Crazy Taxi was bad, like
Well, Crazy Taxi made somewhat sense.
it did, but like sometimes in Crazy Taxi, like the traffic is your worst nightmare.
Yeah, especially if like time's getting low.
In this game, if they even tap you, your car just fucking spins out or fucking slams into a wall, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah, and then like you'll just have random people pop out of nowhere and start shooting your car. Like dudes with like black hoods on, which I think is meant to be like they're the evil ones. But the game implies everybody's a psychopath or maniac
yeah,
anyways. So what's the point of differentiating? And then yeah, and then like every time you see somebody to pick up, you always drive past them and go, shit, I gotta back up.
yeah. Also,
Yeah,
like, if you run anytime you run a person over, they just straight up red mist. It's like, ooh,
yeah. And it's so easy to run people over and fuck up in this game because it just controls terribly.
yeah,
And when you pick people up and like drop them off places to get money, like it's fairly loose with any sort of like time limit or anything. I think it's just don't die and you'll be
yeah.
fine.
The time
And
is
it's
very
hard to
generous.
die. It's hard to die. Like there's shit happening all the time with like cars running into you and shooting you and all that, but like your car's fairly strong.
Hmm.
So, which I'll give the game credit for that. It's not a game where you die every 10 seconds and get mad.
I'll give it this. Discovering like the secrets and stuff, and actually like figuring out the how the game works, I did find fun.
There's a
But
decent game in here.
I don't see myself coming back to this one whenever
No.
I pick up my 3DO. This is maybe like a once a year out of curiosity kind of thing. It's not like if I ever have the 3DO going, like I'm gonna play Escape from Monster Manor or
Yeah.
Icebreaker or hell triple threat Shanghai. I will play because god damn it is an addicting mahjong game.
Like
But
there's a decent game in here. Like there's
it's
something, and again, maybe the sequel is where they realize what the game could actually be. Because I do think if it was more mission based or mission structured, it would be better. Because it
yeah,
feels
you
like
could
it should not be this weird open world type thing. It just doesn't work.
it takes way too much build up to get to the actual progression and making it feel like you're doing stuff.
Yes, absolutely.
Um, because yeah, like it's just I had fun, but I don't see myself wanting to go back to it anytime soon.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if I'll ever play this one again, to be honest, unless I'm like really wanting to see more of the game. But
Yeah,
I don't
and
know.
I mean, I only bought a physical because this box art, but I mean,
It's a great box art. It has that going for it, man.
yeah,
It has all the makings of being a hidden gem, but it's not.
yeah.
You know.
So going into reception, it's interesting. Um, it's kind of mixed. Like Computer Gaming World gave it 3 out of 5 stars. EGM gave it 5.75 out of 10. Next Generation gave the PC version 4 stars and the 3DO version 3 stars. Um, it's a lot of the people like Next Generation said plenty of new weapons and power up items along with different mission options give the game long term play potential. Not sure where they found these different mission options.
There is long term fun to be had.
There
Like if
is
it's just
definitely
the one
long
game
term.
you have, you can definitely get some time out of it.
And then my favorite is they ended their review by saying, "Bloody fun for budding psychotics."
I don't know that like Atari
That's
game is. It was either an Atari or I think it was just an arcade game, Death Race, or whatever, where you just run people over with a car. Like
yeah,
that. It feels like that. This game is taking that and trying to do more with it. You
combining
know?
it with like Edge, Blade Runner, and like all
Yeah,
that shit, and
yeah.
Mad Max.
I,
Um,
I like the EGM stuff where they were kind of divided. One of them predicted it being a cult hit, which
mm.
I could see that, but I don't think it ever really did because there's just not really that solid of a game out of it.
Judging by the because I had shared this on Reddit, judging by the response I got, a lot of people love this game. Um,
I mean,
it
it's the
makes me
3DO
wonder.
Reddit. What do you expect?
True, but I mean, they're weird over there. Like they hate some games like with a passion. I'm just like, all right. Um,
Wonder what games those are.
I saw one person who absolutely despised Escape from Monster, and I was
What?
like,
That's a
okay,
great
whatever.
game. I
Okay.
can't I can't agree with that.
Or like anytime like you post like I remember when I posted like I got the re-release of Plumbers Don't Wear Ties, and everyone was like, why would they re-release this piece of shit? I'm just like, you guys are no fun. And there was people who legitimately thought they made it an anime because of that cover, and I'm like, no, it's just fun, guys. Stop being Debbie Downers about everything. Um, yeah, it's so this is the hardest part. Okay, must play, stay away on this one.
I give it an okay.
That's where I was leading to because I don't
I
think it's a stay
it's not
away
it's no, because it's not terrible. I wish it was better,
because
but
there's something here. It's just
yeah,
not fully there.
exactly. I want to like it, and I think it has a lot of potential, but like if I was reviewing this game in like a QA sort of way, I would have a notepad and I would write down the things that they need to fix, like the controls, give the player a map to look at, have more clear objectives, clear instructions, and handed it back to them, and then they put that in there. I think you have a good game.
Yeah.
Like it's so close. It's so close. And I'm feeling generous. Maybe it's because I'm playing a lot of Bubsy 3D, so like anything's better than that.
Because like the way I was kind of thinking about this was because the story is so fucking batshit. I was kind of comparing it to Siberia, but the difference is Siberia, that game is the gift that keeps on giving with how fucking insane it is.
Yeah.
And I honestly like the way I thought about it was I liked this game, but I didn't love it.
Yeah.
Siberia, I loved it because it was fucking insane. Um,
Yeah. That's funny. In that Reddit post, you had the first comment I see is someone said the original GTA 3. And I'm like, no.
no,
It is if it gave you the option to get out and walk around, then maybe. But
yeah,
this isn't Body Harvest.
no. This is Crazy Taxi meets Twisted Metal. Like
And it doesn't do either very well.
no, but
So
I mean, it was
it's
before both
crazy
of them.
people really like this one on the Reddit because it just I want to like it, but it's not there for me.
My wonder is these are people who nostalgically liked it, but they haven't played it in God knows how long. So they probably if they went back to it, they'd probably be like, Ooh.
I think so. Yeah.
But yeah, I think my final verdict, I'm gonna say cautiously okay. Because it's not a game I can recommend, but I do think it's worth checking out, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. But I'm only gonna give it an okay. Like I don't think you have to play it.
yeah.
But if it interests you, by all means, give it a try. You might dig it.
And
You
worst comes
might.
to
I
worst,
I, I could see the right person loving this game. I could.
I low key kind of want to get like this as like art, like artwork for my wall, like
Get like a display of it.
something like that. Because it is so. Every person I've showed this to, like their immediate response is just, "Whoa!" Like they're like, "What the fuck is
Yeah.
that?"
I mean, that's what you do with box art. We don't really get that with box art anymore.
No,
With
box
game
art's
cover
kind
art.
of.
I mean, there are still good game cover arts out there, genuinely, but we don't get any that are like that, where they're trying to like shock people.
Oh
Because
yeah,
I think it's just because the access to information is so available these days. You're better off doing that shit in the trailer.
yeah,
You know?
100%. But yeah. So that was quarantine. I'm glad we finally got it out of the way because
Yeah.
it's been one that's been sitting like there for so long, and I've been like, I want to understand why this game is like one of those 3DO games that people talk about.
And now we know why.
Because it's there's something here.
It has something, but it's not enough.
Yeah. But for next week, we are actually going a little old school, kind of arcadey. We're gonna
What
be
is that,
talking.
Bill? Tell him, Bill.
We're gonna be talking about Dragon's Lair, the
Mm-hmm.
Don Bluth classic. Are you gonna
We're,
be
we're, we're,
playing
we're,
the?
we're we're covering all of them, aren't we? Dragon
Yes,
Slayer 1, 2, and Space Ace.
yes.
Yes.
Um,
I will not be playing the 3DO versions because I bought the trilogy on my Xbox for like less than $10. So, and they're based on the original arcade. Well, they're just the original arcade ports, basically. I'll take
yes.
a look at the 3DO versions for the sake of the show, but I will be playing the arcade versions, essentially,
So,
like emulated, ported to console, whatever they did.
so a bit of a spoiler warning. I will be attempting to play the 3DO version, but for the majority of my gameplay, I'm going to be playing an arcade port. So,
Yeah. So,
because I've played the 3DO version, and oof, that's all I will say.
well, then maybe I should check it out now.
Yeah, it's. Yeah, I'll save it for next week.
That's great.
I didn't pay very much for it, so I'm not that upset.
Well, that's good.
But yeah, anyways, guys, once again, thank you for joining us on the 3DO Experience. You can find the 3DO Experience on all the major podcasting platforms, particularly Apple Podcast and Spotify. And be sure to check us out over on the Superpod Network. Awesome website, a whole bunch of different creators, videos, blogs. Game Club game this month is Bubsy 3D. It's been going great for everybody.
I'm on like level 12.
You're gonna win at this point because
I think I will. Yeah. I haven't even played it today.
Tony's losing his mind. My game just gave up. I don't know where Steve's at. We'll see.
Suffering, probably.
I know a lot of people just said fuck that and aren't bothering.
That's fine.
Yeah. Also, no time frame when it'll be out, but be on the lookout for we've got a 3D owned coming up. We did a very
Yes.
awesome episode with our friend Jelly over from Danny's server.
Yeah.
And
My shirt is a bit of a hint. I'm in the I've like started to edit it, but it'll probably take a while. Just because of everything that's going on right now. So hopefully it'll be out by next week. I'm hoping. So we'll see. And then I'm still working on Call of Duty 2 for the next episode of Thrack Ops. I still haven't beat it yet. Again, I've just been busy. So I'll hope if I'm lucky, we can get both out next week. Fingers crossed, but I'm casting doubt.
no rush on it. But I will say when it comes out, the 3D owned, was an excellent conversation, and I'm hoping everyone enjoys it because
Oh yeah,
I had a lot of fun with that one. So that's
absolutely.
but yeah, so be on the lookout for those. And until next time, guys, we will see you all later.
Bye bye.